Alright, so this is week 3 of the Wheeler Crits category 1, 2, 3 race. And a little bit warmer today. I don't know, the fields were all pretty big. I think we had probably maybe 30-ish, close to 30 or so, somewhere in there. Seemed like a lot. And the 4-5 race actually had probably 50 riders or so, which is nice to see these big turnouts. So anyway, we're rolling along, and the wind was pretty good south wind. So this little section here, could definitely be a gutter fest at times. So first lap we took it pretty easy. So kind of the left side of the road was your kind of your sweet spot, and then as you're going after the tri-oval towards this way, the right side was a little more protected. So looks like it already got some tacks going off, and so we kind of second lap we'll start winding it up here. I kind of covered the first couple laps, and then we'll kind of jump through everything, get through some of the highlights, and see how the race played out. But all in all, this race was hard. It was definitely a hard race, and I was pretty much right on my limit the whole time. It was, I don't know. Typically I like to be a little more aggressive, but it felt like I was in kind of defensive mode the whole time, or really more or less survival mode, just trying to survive and stay connected. So anyway, I'm trying to stay out of the wind here, and I don't know, it's already starting to get pretty racy, and already a few little gaps starting to open up. But anyway, we're just rolling along, and looks like there's a group of a couple guys that have got away, and I remember seeing this and just wanting to be patient. Typically seems like the majority of the time, most races, it's always kind of, there's a few initial attacks, and usually it's that third or fourth attack, especially on a harder day or lots of people. It's usually at least the third or fourth attack that's the one that gets away. Not always, but typically that's kind of how it goes. So, as we're rolling along, I'm, always trying to take this corner a little bit outside-ish. The main start-finish straight, it didn't really matter where you were at, but I always kind of like to ease into it on the outside, so it kind of sets you up in this section here in the sweet spot. So looks like there was another couple guys that got away, so they're kind of sitting on that's Chad there, and I think that's Heupel. He's the only one with without the Louis Garneau bike. So this first little initial wave goes, kind of comes back together here. So I don't know, I think Evan maybe ramps it up here in just a second. So this is kind of when it starts to really blow up. These guys have been going kind of hard, chasing. Seemed like the Charlie's guys were kind of trying to police the race early on, but that's pretty much I don't know. It's good to be aggressive, but there's a lot of firepower, especially early on. But notice Evan creeping through here. Looks like he's lurking, ready to, like a coiled cobra, ready to strike. And notice Aaron Elliott's got him marked, which is, I don't know, that's probably a task that's a little easier said than done. So it looks like we rolled along here for another lap or so. I kind of sped it up to where the actual race kind of basically blows apart. Getting kind of caught back up in the mix. We had gone a little hard there, so everybody's kind of semi-recovering, and so we kind of get to right in here. And one thing when there's kind of a lull like this, I'm starting, everybody's kind of setting up, so that's kind of when that happens. You need to not be just sitting in trying to recover. You need to know that typically the shit's about to hit the fan normally, so you need to be ready to go, put yourself in position to go, or either attack yourself. So sure enough, it's going. I come in, wide in the first corner. I had a little action here. I slowed it down just so you kind of try to see exactly what happened. I don't know if this guy hit his pedal here. I think he did. Tried to pedal there, hit his pedal, broke a spoke, and I kind of basically got around there. It cost me a few positions and such, but that was pretty close and almost went off, got pushed off into the grass, but I was able to come up under around him. So, and everybody kind of looked like they sat up a little, maybe. I can't tell if those guys took off again or if they're still up there. But anyway, I was able to get back in the mix there, and then it gets pretty hard here again. This is really where the race pretty much blows up. So yeah, there goes Evan again with Aaron and right there behind him. So I knew that was probably going to be a good move that would break it up there. Seemed like I'd select the, like I say, third or fourth attack. So, basically just kind of sat in here, tried to be patient since there's so many guys up there chasing. Might as well, let a few of them, burn themselves out. That's basically how the race gets down to just a select few. It's, the really strong guys going, and then if you're smart enough, I definitely wouldn't, as far as the breakaway of guys that ended up getting away, I wouldn't. I was definitely probably the weak link in that break, but I just kind of played my cards right here and set in, leapfrogged up guys, so it's definitely pretty hard going here, headwind, and it's sitting in here behind Troy. And still guys just really chasing pretty hard. This section was really hard here, just tailwind, so you're not really getting much draft. But these guys they're chasing pretty hard, got some counters, trying to move up. Guys are dropping off left and right, from chasing. So get in here. I was going to try to take off, but Andy kind of jumped and beat me to the punch. So good old Andy, it's always that's probably my favorite spot, is getting on Andy's wheel. He definitely never jumps so hard that you can't get with him, but he's just, I don't know, great all around wheel to follow. So we're going, and it's like Aaron just got dropped, so I leapfrog up and around. I think that's Jack Funk, and then you got Chad and Drummond. So I kind of just had the momentum, jumped, went around them, and put in a pretty hard effort here to bridge up to Evan. And really this kind of the heat, it felt a little warmer this particular day, and it seemed like once you kind of redline at a time or so in the heat, it's really hard to recover after that. So I put in a pretty hard effort here. Looked like I had a gap on everybody, so I don't know. My FTP was 30 or 50 watts higher. I could have just come around Evan and we could have worked it. Probably would have 1-2'd it, lapped the field a couple times, but basically I caught him, sat on for a while, and then just kind of fast forwarded. This is probably about 20 minutes up. So basically what happens is we get into a group of I guess it's 6 of us, that eventually, was 4, and it was really hard going, and then a couple more bridged up, and then so, basically it's a group of Evan, Drummond, Andy, Chad, Jack Funk, and myself that were rolling along. And so this is just kind of, as we're going sped up, and then I think we see the field up ahead, so, I don't know, Evan's trying to get us to rotate there, and it's like, rotate. I'm doing everything I can just to stay connected here. So I don't know. That was, I tried to give it a go. I think some of the guys were getting frustrated because I wasn't necessarily just trying to milk it and sit on, but I definitely didn't work as much as I don't think as most of the other guys there. But yeah, Drummond is. He's really riding strong right now. He attacked several times in the tailwind section here, and I really definitely put a hurt on me. So it's, I don't know. Anyway, this is where we're catching the field here, and basically Jack and I think Evan got away at that point. This is just kind of fast forwarded to 5 laps to go. We basically worked through the field, and then there's a couple guys that were I don't know, more than a couple. It actually got pretty confusing at this point, because I honestly at the time, you're so cross-eyed with what's going on, I didn't even realize who all was actually in our break. I know there was only 6 guys in there, but some of them it was, I don't know. Yeah. I could never really tell if there was more than 6, or I thought there might have been a couple guys lurking back there. I was trying to keep an eye on it, but it was hard to tell. And once we caught the field, then it got really confusing, because it seemed like Jack and Evan took off up, and then we had a bunch of other guys working with us. So anyway, we're coming up on 3 to go, and we actually caught Jack there. So basically at this point, somebody just somebody was like, well, who's racing for what? So then somebody broke it down, and so I kind of understood. But we're coming up on 3 to go. Andy puts in a pretty good attack there, but it's basically Chad, Chris, Andy, and myself and then Jack, if he was still connected with us, are racing for second, basically, because Evan's probably quarter lap up the road, I think, or so. And so I didn't really have anything to go, to try to chase Andy down. It's everything I can just to stay on Drummond here. So he puts in a pretty good little dig here to bridge up to Andy. So we catches him. We kind of set up, and luckily, if they would have kept going, I probably would have gotten dropped right here. Maybe, I don't know. I was definitely struggling. So kind of put it back in standard speed here just to get the last 3 laps. So we're rolling along and catching some more lapped riders. Coming up here on, this is 2 to go. And then this kind of, some of the guys that had been sitting on start kind of making their way through, that I didn't even know were back there actually. So, I don't know. There's, we got a guy here, and, I'm not even sure who this guy is, or, he had all specialized stuff in. Maybe he was a rep or something. I honestly have no idea. Anyway, we're going, not going too hard, but I'm trying to kind of get as recovered as I can here, just to maybe try to make a go at getting a podium spot. So coming up on the Bell lap, and yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory here. Trying to stay in the sweet spot, stay out of the wind, and then I didn't realize how many people were still kind of just sitting on, and it's like, whoa, we're getting swarmed here, last lap swarm action. So yeah, some of the guys were going, and I thought they were, Charlie's guys got up there, I thought, they're gonna lead Chris out, but it looked like they were just kind of racing for 6th or 7th or 8th or whatever. They're all a lap down, and I don't know, I could hear them pulling riders, so I don't know how some guys got to stay out or not, or I don't know. I didn't really understand it. It was it did get a little confusing there at the end. I knew basically at this point who was, so I knew I needed to jump phoning to get, basically just focusing on Chad and Chris at this point. So got a good jump there. It kind of made the overall sprint longer than I wanted. Had a good line going through here and everything, and then just, I don't know, giving it 110%, racing for trying to get second here, and then Chad gets me right at the line, just kind of nipped me there. So ended up with third. It's definitely, I think getting third, I probably overachieved in this race for sure. I definitely wasn't the third strongest guy out there by any means, but that's it. Thanks for watching. Till next week.